Good evening, Kevin. I'll only use my host name just once. He prefers to be known as RW for the sake of his new channel. But I wish to thank Frank for allowing me to come down. I'm here in the hopes that I can answer some questions. I know this is basically a prelude before we have our audience and we begin discussing a lot of more serious issues, and I do believe I'm going to be introduced to a couple of people that I've helped over the last 8-10 years, and I'm looking forward to that. So therefore, what we're going to do is, since I've been called down, to do a little bit of a prelude for other people that are interested in knowing what's going on. Do you have any questions?
Who are you and what do you do?
Alright. My name is Hertha, but I do prefer to be called Mum. Mainly because of the fact I am the Mother Goddess. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to get antsy about this. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Whether they want to believe or whether they disbelieve, it is up to them. I am hoping that during the beginning of this, during the course of coming meetings, that I can answer a lot more questions, and I believe that RW wishes to have a little bit involved as far as travelling and going to new places. So yes, my name, I prefer to be called Mum, so from here on I am known as Mum.
Okay, thank you, Mum. So what else do you do?
Well, my job is, like a lot of us up there, everybody has a selected course, selected work. Most of us do not know of your existence while you are down here. That is the reason why everybody has a guide, or as some people would like to call an angel, basically looking after them. What these guides or angels are messengers. They deliver information on what you've been doing, who you've been with, how you've been behaving while you're down here. And yes, there is such a thing called a book of life. It is there for the sole purpose that when the individual passes away, we can read through, see this person, and basically give a form of judgment of how this person has performed compared to his or her previous lives.
So that brings up reincarnation. What's the deal with that?
Reincarnation is, most people would agree on this, that the soul never dies, it goes on. However, how it functions is, in your previous life, we're going to assume that you were a woman. You come back down to this life that you're in now as a man, you're a woman on the inside. You carry your previous life in the form of your astral or spiritual form. And when you pass away from this life, who you are now is the image you carry on into the next life, whether it is a male or a female.
Okay, so what's the deal with heaven and hell? If we
Alright, heaven and hell.
Through lives.
Alright. There is no such thing as hell as most religions down here perceive it or wish for their parishes to believe it. It is not a pit, a fiery pit of eternal damnation. No. Hell is, if people do their research, will find it is just another name for the common grave. That once you pass away, your shell basically deteriorates and rots. So there is nothing like that, because the reality is, Kevin, a God of love would not punish another human soul for something minor, especially if they are asking for forgiveness. They are not going to be punished for minor offences, and even on the major ones, which I will be bringing up at the next conference, even on major issues, there is no eternal of fire and damnation. Heaven, wow, there is 7 stages to heaven. There is the highest level where the Creator himself stands. And the only other person that is allowed to be within that vicinity is his Son. Then you have other levels coming down to what most people would call the beach, or the first level of the astral plane. Here we have people that astral project, those that consciously know they do it, and then those that have passed away. This is basically more or less like the waiting room of a great big what do you call it down here, airport. Basically, you know, you're getting selected. Okay, we are going to talk to you now, we're going to talk to you now, and we're going to get this sorted out. Now, after it's finished, depending on the situation, some of them turn around and say, I want to go straight back down. That's not a problem. But normally, as a rule, they get a little bit of a lecture on what they have got to do when they get down there, because we will look at the things that they've done in the past and say, you want things to improve, then you've got to allow this to stay in your mind, and you've got to improve. So, all up, that's basically what it is. And we other lower stages of gods and goddesses are selected at other levels to basically deal with those even lower still. Each and every one of us have a task, have a job at hand. Yes.
So where are we on that scale?
Where you are now, basically you're just existing down here. Your shell is basically what you end up with when you are down here, and you've got to respect it, you've got to show love towards yourself and toward others, and you have got to respect yourself. For a lot of people, it's a very, very hard task. We don't frown on what you do and don't do, simply because of the fact you are down here to make your own choice. Follow your own path and what you want to do. But you must remember one thing. When the time comes and you pass away, you come up there. Yes, we will look at what you've done, and basically we'll go, okay, back down you go. Or in this case, no, you've caused a lot of problems in that down there. You thought you got away with it down there before. We need to punish you. I'll get onto the more of the punishing side of things down the track too. I do understand that this is basically to get the message out there on what is coming. I believe there's a beautiful woman down here. Her name is Hicks, I believe.
Esther Hicks.
Esther Hicks, yes. I believe she has a spirit guide that talks through her by the name of Abraham. Speaks a lot of truth and a lot of wisdom. And yes, she can help a lot of people, and he does help a lot of people. There are some things that, of course, we still have issues on. We agree to disagree. Small, minute things, but we're not going to discuss that at this point in time.
So that's mainly interpretation?
More so interpretation, yes, than anything else. So, okay.